It's AFEX time now on Business Morning. So let's bring you up to date on how the market traded up to December the 11th. And we see that in the last trading week, which ended on the 11th, December the 11th, there were mixed performances across key indicators. Looking at the turnover, that dropped by more than 1%, 1.04%, closing the week at 2.23 billion naira from 2.4 billion naira in the last trading week. The volume of trades also witnessed an increase, almost 1%, 0.93%. Number of deals dropped more than 1% for the red week, 1.19%, closing the week at 116 from 140 in the previous trading week. We witnessed that the AFEX commodities index dropped by very marginal, 0.01%, while the AFEX export index rose by 2.08% to close at 234.01 from 229.25. Let's look at the volume of contracts traded up to the week ended December the 11th. Right there, we saw an increase in the volume across maize, across sorghum, cocoa, and cashew nut. A positive movement among those commodities. Now, let's look at the price for each of those and see which one gained and which one lost. If you're an investor in any of those crops, you know, if you actually gained. So we'll start over with sorghum. We see sorghum right there. It's in the green. If you invested some money there, I bet your investment would have been up 1.43% to close at 425 naira for a kilogram. That's for sorghum for the week ended December the 11th. If we can see other crops right there to see how they traded. We see cocoa dropped, however, by 2.64%. All right, we have sesame there. Sesame was unchanged at 1,240 naira 76 kobo for a kilogram of sesame for the week ended December the 11th. Ginger also is in that category, unchanged for the week at 990 naira for a kilogram for the week ended December the 11th. And then you have wheat, the popular wheat, very essential one, at 440 naira. But it seems for the week also, nothing has been able to move it. So it's still at 440. Ginger is 990. And there you have wheat right there at 440 unchanged. And like we always say, okay, we have paddy rice, also 400 unchanged. We had a lot of commodities that were unchanged for the week. Perhaps there's a balancing out coming on, and you know that the festivities are upon us. So even though we're not having as much demand as we would normally have, but you know, things are changing. But you can go to their website and follow them on their social media handle to get more information on AFEX. If you want to know how you can get on board, be an investor in any of the commodities, and also help to boost food security in Nigeria, you can go to their website, follow them on their social media, and then you can contribute to that. So AFEX is also involved and concerned about leveraging technology to optimize the supply chain. As we know, the supply chain sometimes has led to the loss of harvest. We have in Nigeria post-harvest losses hitting as much as 50%. You know, so AFEX is concerned about this, and so they tell us that the agricultural landscape is undergoing a digital revolution, as is with a whole lot of sectors in the country. Technology is offering tools to optimize the value chains from farming to consumption. These innovations are transforming how food is grown, how it's transported and distributed. As population growth is set to occur, it is important to understand further ways that technology could optimize this. And so we have in the studio right here, Somto Nwobodo, to tell us more about how AFEX is contributing to this. Good morning, Sonto, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I would expect, of course, we're talking about technology, so the Gen Zs will be the one to talk about it, you know. And we've seen technology and now AI disrupting landscape globally. Obviously, it's also doing that in the agriculture space. What do you see? What does AFEX see when it comes to technology and agricultural supply chain?
So I see technology is evolving very fast, right? It's optimizing processes, it's making things better, connecting different players together, right? So at AFEX, we're trying to leverage that and connect the players to be able to perform in the market. So we're doing that with data, we're doing that with the players, we're doing that with infrastructure, just connecting the different key components of the agricultural space and facilitating them to do more.
But obviously it hasn't been easy. You've had some obstacles.
No, it hasn't been easy. There's been a couple of obstacles. For example, we have like digital literacy, because like part of the people in this supply chain are the farmers, right? So, and a lot of time they struggle with understanding how to use the technology. So at AFEX, we've adopted a trainer program where we train somebody in their local community that then goes ahead to train them on how to use the technology. And we also produce very easy to use, accessible technology. So it's easy for them to actually access it, right? So, and apart from that, there's the cost of the technology. There's also the fact that they don't trust technology. There's just like a couple of things, but then we've been able to tackle it with like a long-standing reputation.
The lack of trust of technology. What are the fears?
So there's a lot of things. First of all, they feel like, oh, these people are going to come, take my money and disappear, right? And then, so they just need to, and what we've done for that is by engaging people in their community, like we have like outreach officers that are members of their community. We have like cooperative chairmen that are members of their community. So by the time they interact with them and they're like an extension of the company, it builds the trust with the farmers and you can see the good things. We can see how we're investing in them and how we're like helping them do more. And then over time, the trust builds naturally. So that's how we've been tackling.
And I know you talked about the cost of acquiring, you know, these gadgets. I think there's also the infrastructure, you know, because you want to charge a phone or a device. You have to look for a generator, and now petrol is costing how much, you know. These are some of the challenges that you have to deal with.
Yes, these are some of the challenges. So for the cost of technology, right, we know, okay, for them to access like the market, right? They need technology that is, like they need bigger phones, maybe smartphones and the likes, right? But then what we've done at AFEX is to try to create technology that is closer to them. So with USSD codes, using their small phones, they can actually get market prices, they can trade, they can send money to other people, they can put money into their accounts, like have access to basic financial services and basic like market and information access. So that's what we've done, and that's how we are trying to help them tackle the issues that they are facing, the barriers to technology that they're currently facing.
Yeah, and another thing I think would be connecting the farmers and the market.
Yes.
I know that's normally a challenge in Nigeria.
Yes.
We talk about the connection. You can do it virtually, but at the end of the day, you have to do crops.
Yes.
So there has to be a physical meeting.
Yes, yes. So we have warehouses, right? And then in these warehouses, we have technology that actually has like, the farmers have registered on this technology, and then they can come in and store their commodities there, and then it becomes like something that they have. They either get e-warehouse receipts, which they can use to access financing and use to access loans, or then they can have their commodities there and transact. They can sell it to different people. They can access the money just using their USSD code, which is like what we've provided for them. And so far, it's working really well.
Interesting. Is this, would you say this is making an impact so far, the issue of food security in the country?
Yes.
And then that gap, you know, between the urban, where most of the consumption is done, and then the rural. You know, I know the warehouse really should be helping, but getting the market to those warehouses will also be another thing.
Yes. Okay. So like I mentioned before, we have Kudi and we have Africa Exchange. Africa Exchange is like the market where every day we have different players. We have suppliers, we have like consumers. Everybody's like trading on the exchange, right? And then the farmers can access the things that happen there. Maybe they can, if they have phones, smartphones, they can access technology. But because a lot of them don't do it, we bring it closer to them using USSD codes. So with the USSD codes, they can easily find out what the price of the commodities they are trading currently is.
Do you do this in any language other than Lagos?
Yeah.
Other than English,
yes,
I mean.
Yes, we do. We do it in Hausa as well, which is because currently our efforts are focused in the north, and then there are a lot of people that trade, like there are a lot of people that speak like Hausa there, so they can access the services using Hausa. And then we are working on also adopting different other languages so that it's easier for the people to communicate and use the technology with language they're very familiar with.
So tell me, an investor watching this program now, what are the opportunities available to investors?
Okay, so we have the Africa exchange, we have like basket, we have FETCs, we have commodities on the exchange that is available for them to like trade. And then we have technology. We are doing a lot of things with our technology. They can also invest in that. We are planning to go into AI, prediction farming, all of that. You get, so AFEX has a site, like we're trying to leverage AI to optimize these processes. So if people are willing to invest, they can come to the exchange, they can come to AFEX and then state their intent and become like a part of the movement that we're trying to drive.
Oh, very interesting right there. And they can always reach you on your social media handles and all of that.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for
that.
Much. And we wish you the best.
Thank you.
So if this, or as this grows, then food security also grows in the country. And we have less post-harvest losses because that is a major setback, to our food security in Nigeria.
Yes. So by connecting the different chains, improving transparency, we're able to like curb the losses, right? So you're connecting the farmers to the distribution, the warehousing, you're connecting everybody together, right? So there's the inefficiencies and the delays are reduced. So the food security is greatly increased by doing that.
All right. Okay. Wish you more success.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Somto Nwobodo, Analyst Product Management with AFEX.
Thank you.
All right. Let's take a break now. When we come back, we'll head to the markets to stay with us.